Hi there. Welcome again to the Old Principal English Instructional Program. Well, actually, it's just a lot of stories, 310 of them to be exact. And today's story is one from my own life. It's Moonlight Proposal. Moonlight Proposal, number 272. Now, moonlight, okay, 月亮, okay. In this case, it was a full moon, 满月光线之下的 proposal, 求婚呢. This is really my story. So we will look at that. Whoa, it looks like we got two lovers out there. So we're going to check this out. But first, listen to the story as my wife, who was the one who I proposed to, as she reads the story.
Story 272, Moonlight Proposal. The first obstacle was passed. Connie's dad consented to her marrying me. Now all I needed to do was to ask her. I had purchased a $125 watch and had her future married name engraved on the back. It read, Connie Ash. Now I needed to find a time when just the two of us could be alone, and that was not an easy task in a large family like hers. After the wonderful noon meal was completed, I offered to help wash the dishes with Connie and others. In a big family like theirs, cooking and cleaning up often were the best times for dialogue and discussion. It was just a fun family time. Try as I may, there was no good time for the two of us to separate from the rest of the family group. Evening came, and with it another meal. Since it was late summer and daylight savings time was still in effect, darkness didn't come until 9 o'clock. Eventually the moon came out, an incredibly bright and full moon. I whispered to her, "Let's go outside and talk." We quietly left the house. We withdrew to a large grassy field with some bushes and trees isolating us from the view of the house. Now at last we were alone. I must confess, I found it no easier to communicate with her than it was to talk to her father at noontime. Finally, I put my arm around her shoulder and pulled out the watch, saying, "This watch is for you. If you will look at the engraving on the back, it says, Connie Ash. Sweetheart, will you marry me?" Quietly came the response, "I will." Whew! I sighed in relief. Those were touching moments, out in the gentle moonlight, just the two of us. Or so we thought. Later, we found out that there were others in the bushes and trees. Connie's younger brother and sisters were hiding nearby, taking in the whole scene.
Okay. Now, if you will remember what I was talking about in the past lessons, the first obstacle was passed. Have you ever had an obstacle in your life? 障碍. The first obstacle, 第一个这个障碍已经过了. The first obstacle was passed. Connie's dad consented, okay, 答应, okay, 答应. He consented to her marrying me. 他就愿意让我跟他结婚了. Okay? Now knew I had a problem. All I needed to do was to ask her. Now, I don't know what young people do nowadays, but in those days, you always ask the father first. Nowadays, I don't know. Yeah, I imagine that that's 礼貌上, you should do that no matter what. But I had to ask the father. The father said, yes, you may marry my daughter. But now, I need to ask her. I had purchased a $125 watch. Whoa! Now back there, that was an expensive watch. Very expensive watch. And 这个手表好贵. Now, maybe it would be worth, well, it was worth a lot of money back then, $125. This is, 47 years ago. More than 47 years ago, almost 50 years ago. $125 watch, 很贵的一个手表. And if you'll notice here, it says, I had her future married name engraved on the back. Okay, this means that 这个婚后, okay, 结婚以后, 她的名字应该是 Connie Ash, because my name is John Ash. So I had it engraved on the back of the watch. 这个手表后面. What engraved? The word engraved means 雕刻. So I had Connie Ash engraved on the back of the watch. Now, that was cool. I like that. Found out that she did too, going on. Now I needed to find a time when the two of us could be alone. Now this was not so easily done, okay? 我要找到一个时间呢，一个时刻，没有别人在. And it was no easy task. 这份工作好难 because she had a large family. So, here's the story, and this is the way it is. It's too bad I didn't listen to her read the story, because I'd like to hear her read it and find out how she read the story, whether there was some emotion there or something. But anyway, there were a lot of emotions that night, because now I was going to ask her. After a wonderful noon meal, okay, noon meal, 中午餐吃得非常非常好. So it was a great noon meal. My mother-in-law, 我的岳母, good cook, very good cook. And of course, it was a big family. In their family, there are 6 children. 6 children. Keep that in mind. Okay, after a wonderful noon meal was completed, I offered to help wash the dishes with Connie and others. 我提供, 我愿意, 帮忙他们洗盘子碗. Actually, in her family, washing dishes together, 这个饭后, 这个洗盘子碗 was a family activity, 家庭的一个活动, and everybody liked to do it. So I said, oh, no problem. I will help wash the dishes with the others. Okay, going on. In a big family like theirs, there was a lot of cooking and cleaning, and oh my, it was difficult. So cleaning up was often the best times for dialogue and discussion. Okay, dialogue, 谈话, okay, dialogue, to speak together with other people and get to know them. And actually, nowadays, of course, 我就是老校长, and so we've been married many, many years. But the best times, some of the best times for my wife and I to talk is still during what? It's during the time we wash dishes together. Okay? It was fun family time. 家庭很好玩的一个时间. It was work, but we all enjoyed it. 蛮享受这个时刻 going on. Try as I may, there was no good time for us to separate from the rest of the family group. 我尽量尝试过. I was trying, try as I may. There was no good time. 没有一个很恰当的时间 for the two of us to 分离, to separate from the rest of the family. Because they were all, we are both the oldest, and so she had one brother and 4 sisters. So she had 5 siblings. They were all younger than her. And of course, they were always with us. So how do you separate? How do you get away? This was a difficult moment going on. Evening came. Okay, so evening came and still could not get away. No way to get away. And there was another meal. Of course, it was a wonderful meal. Always were. Big family, lots of good food going on. Since it was late summer, the daylight and daylight savings time, 夏令时间, daylight savings time. China doesn't have that. Actually, they did for a brief amount of time. It didn't work, I remember. But America has 夏令时间. And so at nighttime, in the evening, very, very long. It doesn't get dark until 9 o'clock at night. So it's still daylight, a long time. It's just, you get a lot more accomplished then. It was still in effect. That means we were still on daylight savings time. 他们还没有恢复这个 regular time. Okay, darkness didn't come until 9 o'clock at night. Okay, so if I wanted to do something in the dark, I had to wait. And I had to wait. And I had to wait. Going on. Eventually, the moon came out. Okay, the moon, 月亮, okay, 就出来了. So the moon, and it was a full moon, 满月. So here is this a beautiful night, 很浪漫的一个晚上, a romantic night for 2 lovers, 两位恋人. It was an incredibly bright, 非常很难以相信的 bright, meaning 很亮很亮 的满月. I whispered to her, "Psst, let's go outside." Okay, let's go outside and talk. Now, how do you do that? You have mother, and you have father, you have 5 brothers and sisters, and then you say to your girlfriend, "Psst, let's go outside." Could we do it? Could we quietly leave and nobody would notice? We quietly left the house. 很安静的. Now, as I look back on it, I think that was crazy. I should have said, let's just go in the car and go somewhere, because I had a car. Borrowed my father's car. 我借我爸爸的汽车. But somehow I didn't think about that. We quietly left the house. Going on. We withdrew. Okay. Withdrew means to go away. Okay. To draw away, withdrew, to go away to a large grassy field with some bushes and trees isolating us from the view of the house. Okay? So now this is important. We went to a large grassy field. Okay? 有草的一个田里里面. Now, the grass was open, so there was no trees. But there were some bushes, 灌木丛, and trees, okay, 树, okay? And they were isolating us. 从加隔离, okay? Separating us, isolating us, making us alone from the view of the house. That means that the people in the house could not see us. Okay? So I wanted to move away from the house, but I was still on their property. 我还是在他们的地. I did not leave the area. Going on. Now at last, 终于 we were alone. 单独我们两位. Just the 2 of us. I must confess that I found it no easier to communicate with her than to talk with her father at noontime. Now, remember the past story. At noontime, 中午时间, I had already talked with her father. 已经跟他的爸爸得了他的允许啊. And he said yes, so that was good. That was noontime, 中午的时间. So, but I must confess, 我承认晚上的时候根本是一样难. Okay? No easier. 不是更容易. Of course, I didn't know how the father would respond, and I was pretty sure that my girlfriend would respond positively, 很正面的反应. I hoped, at least. So it was hard talking to her father, and I found it 一样 hard to talk to my girlfriend. Going on. Finally, I put my arm around her shoulder. So I put my arm around her shoulder. 手就抱着她的肩膀, okay? 肩头. And I pulled out the watch, saying, 我把那个手表拿出来. And this is what I said. Remember, this is 求婚啊, okay? This watch is for you. 这个手表是要给你, okay? You will look at it was pretty dark out there, but there was light from the moon, but I told her, I said, you will look at the engraving on the back. 雕刻的字在后面。当你看的时候, I'm not sure that we could even see it. Maybe it wasn't light enough. And it will say, Connie Ash. And then I added, it's kind of like now it maybe is a little bit easier to say. Even now, there's some emotion. I can still feel the emotion of the evening. 还是有感情. I mean, let me see. This is 47 years ago that this happened, okay? More than 47 years ago. And I said, sweetheart, will you marry me? Okay, 亲爱的, okay? Will you marry me? Sweetheart, 你愿意嫁给我吗? Okay, going on. Quietly came the response. Oh, I will, okay? I will marry you. That's the point. I sighed with relief. 松了一口气. At last. The work I had planned, the two things that I wanted to do that day, I finally had finished. I had asked her father, and now I had asked her. They both agreed, and I was relieved. 我松了一口气. Those were touching moments. 蛮感动的这个时刻. Out there in the gentle moonlight, 这个满月的这个光线照在我们的身上, okay? Gentle moonlight. Of course, the sun is not so gentle, but the moon is much more gentle, 轻轻的, okay? Just the two of us. Very romantic, 很浪漫的一个时刻. Just the two of us. Or so we thought. 就是我们这么想. Going on. Later we found out that there were others in the bushes and the trees. 在这个灌木丛和树林里面还有一些其他的人. Connie's younger brother and sisters were hiding nearby, taking in the whole scene. 他们的隐藏在这个树林还有灌木丛里面. And they were watching. To take in this case, to take in the scene is to watch everything that is happening. So here they were watching everything. I imagine, I'm for sure, I even kissed her. And of course, the little brothers and the sisters said, Whoa, look at that. He kissed our older sister. Oh, so they were all pretty excited about it. But they were quiet. They were quiet. I did not know for quite some time that they were in the bushes and the trees. Now, I must say that there was a lot of pressure. This was very romantic. I was just thinking about my girlfriend. I wasn't thinking about anything else. So even though, 尽管, or despite that they were in those bushes, I didn't pay attention. Well, this is the story of my life. And I'm sure that you have had very many interesting stories. Stories about how you proposed to your wife or spouse. Sometimes the lady proposes to the man. It's in the Western culture, in most cultures, the man proposes to the lady. But sometimes it's the other way around. It's backwards. But hey, what does it matter? These are romantic scenes filled with emotion, 非常非常有感情的. Well, you can write an email message to us. In fact, we have an email address. Sit down just now and write a few words. Tell me about your girlfriend or boyfriend, or tell me about the night that you proposed. We have a website. The website is www.theoldprinciple.org. Hey, it's been great to spend these few minutes with you, and we hope that you'll bring a friend next time as we share another interesting story. Until then, have a good time studying English. Bye-bye.